Welcome. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Ohio Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you all for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to our presenters at any time. Your cameras and your microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Ohio. And now I would like to turn it over to our presenters. Starting with our first presenter. Thank you, Will. Go ahead.
Right. We'll go ahead and hit my timer here so I don't step over. How's everybody doing tonight? Great to be here. My name's Will Thames. I'm with the University of Tennessee. Let's see, I'm going to screen share if that's all right. Fire this up. All right. Hopefully everybody can see this. Talk a little bit about the University of Tennessee. We'll go forward. So we got a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio at the university. That's a big thing we like to talk about because we are a national brand. Everybody knows about the University of Tennessee. Everybody knows about this beautiful color of orange that we rock. So they think we're going to be a lot larger than what we are, that we're going to be like 50 to 60,000 students. Not the case. As you see, we have about 24,000 undergrad students on our university's campus. So that really reflects what that 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Speaking of scholarships and money, $61 million worth of merit awards we gave out last year. And another impressive number, 84% of our students when they graduated are employed or working in grad school towards a master's degree. So we're really proud of that you can really see, the value of the degree going forward. It's got momentum and really getting you where you want to go. We're an R1 Carnegie Distinction School, which means we're top tier research. We're also D1 athletics, hail SEC. So we're one of the few schools in the country that's both R1 and D1. Land Grant University, flagship school of the state of Tennessee. We got a lot of cool things to brag about. These are academic colleges here at the University of Tennessee. These colleges make up the university as a whole. So, we have the College of Agriculture, Architecture and Design, Arts and Sciences, Business, Communication, Information, Education, Health, Human Sciences, Engineering, obviously one of our biggest programs there. Law, if you're a graduate student, nursing, social work, and veterinary medicine, also a graduate program there too. We do have a lot of competitive programs at the University of Tennessee that we're known for, that the architecture and design, nursing, engineering, like nuclear engineering, come on now, pre-pharmacy direct admit programs, and of course the School of Music, which is kind of surprising. See that come in. We are based out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and I assume everybody has been to Knoxville before. It is a beautiful place, a great vacation destination, right at the heart, right at the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. We're right on the Tennessee River. Cool thing about the university is that, our football stadium is right on the river, and we're only one of 3 schools in the country with a riverfront stadium. So that's a really iconic thing on our campus. A lot of people like to go out and tailgate on the river, like get a boat, go out there, have a good time for the game kicks off. If you like to be outdoorsy, we are a perfect town for you. We have over 800 miles of hiking very close by, not just the Smoky Mountains, but in and around the city. Something called the urban wilderness, where they've kind of converted quarries and unused land and like trails, hiking, biking, kayaking, canoeing, whole lots of cool things going on there. Tons of outdoor activities in the city of Knoxville. It's also a very artsy kind of town. It's the maker city, so craftsmanship is a huge part of the DNA of Knoxville. Downtown Market Square, Gay Street is absolutely beautiful. It's really close to the campus. It's like right across the street from our campus. So it's really accessible for all the students to go and explore downtown. Great food. I cannot express that enough. The food is absolutely amazing in Knoxville. It's got like a food crawl like the first of every month, which is really cool. Got there, I think it's like the first Friday of every month. Get out there and really experience some of the cool stuff that Knoxville has to offer. So let's talk about applying to the University of Tennessee, becoming a vol in progress, a VIP. We do 2 different ways. You can either submit test scores and go test optional. We have not officially announced if we're going to continue that, but I don't think you can put the genie back in the bottle once you've released it. So I'm totally planning on us continuing being test optional. When you apply to the school, you complete your online application. You do a self-reported academic record, $50 application fee. You pick one essay out of 7 to write, and then you submit test scores. If you go test optional, instead of doing test scores, you just do an additional essay. We do our own GPA system at the University of Tennessee. It's called the core weighted GPA. And essentially what that means, instead of looking at all the classes that you've taken in your high school career, we're just going to look at your core courses. And that's how we're going to calculate your GPA. So you see we're only going to look at English, math, science, American history, European history, or world history, sign language, foreign language, or visual performing arts. Then we'll calculate a GPA. We also weight these a little bit differently. Didn't mean to skip ahead. If you have taken college level courses, Cambridge, advanced placement, you get a full point weighted onto that. If it's an honors program, you get half a point. So this is how we reward you for challenging yourself. Instead of taking senior year off and coasting and taking the easiest courses possible, we want to reward you for continuing your education. And that is how we're going to award scholarships, and also if you get admitted. Speaking of scholarships, we have competitive scholarships. We also have honors and scholars programs, which are absolutely phenomenal. Lots of great opportunities to get a little bit more one-on-one time with your professors, smaller classroom size. Even I think they do study abroad trips to Oxford for some of our competitive programs and honors programs. Really cool opportunities. But let's talk about money. Here's our money here. You'll see out-of-state students, the tuition fees, $31,684. Room and board, $11,856. So it comes out to $43,540. College is not cheap. So we want to help you with that. So here's our scholarship tiers that we have. As you can see here for out-of-state scholars, everything starts at about a 3.8. And depending on your test scores, how much money you get automatically. If you go test optional, we also have one for you called the Beacon Scholarship, the exact same award amount between 4 to the full 18,000 you can get. Just go test optional. That's the only thing you really have to do for those. You can add test scores later on, but if you start with test scores, you can't remove them. So you can't ever go for the Beacon if you come in with test scores. So I think it's kind of good. Go Beacon, go test optional to begin with. And of course, everyone should come down and check out the campus. It's absolutely amazing. Like one of the best campus visit programs in the country. I honestly believe that. That is my 6 minutes right on the dot. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. And thank you guys very much. And here's my information.
Hi, good evening. This is Lisa Burns, and I am representing Sewanee, the University of the South in Sewanee, Tennessee. And my presentation tonight is going to be a quick little 5-minute video I'm going to share with you all. So settle in and enjoy this video with us this evening.
Hi, I'm Taylor Baird. I'm a graduate of Sewanee, and I currently work in the Office of Admission. And I get to tell you a little bit about my home for the past.
Hey, Lisa, it went on mute. Can you hit unmute, please?
Mhm.
There you go.
Domain.
All set. Thank you.
Situated between Nashville and Chattanooga. It's a working farm, a 13,000-acre forest, a natural playground with trails to hike and rocks to climb. But above all, it's a community. That's Sewanee. And it's a place that I hope you'll consider calling home one day too. The domain is where we live, eat, research, recreate, reflect, and compete. I mean, 30% of our students are scholar athletes competing on one of our Division III varsity athletic teams. It's a lot, and we like it that way. Our university motto, Ecce Quam Bonum, or EQB, ensures that we push each other and appreciate each other while dwelling together in unity. You'll be sharing Sewanee with about 1,700 other 17 to 22-year-olds and the broader community, so there's rarely a dull moment here. While we're nestled in Tennessee, you're still going to be encouraged and expected to engage with a global community. We want you to address global issues and engage in a way that connects Sewanee with the rest of the world. This is a place where everybody stands up for what they think and for what they believe in. That dialogue across difference and that true discourse is the environment that we strive to cultivate. For example, we have deep roots with the Episcopal Church, but we know that it's important to create a healthy interfaith environment here for students as well. With the combination of intellectual rigor and community, Sewanee will help you figure out who you are. As an institution, we've been exploring who we've been and who we are. We want to model that for students, that you're exploring those questions, and that asking questions and seeking solutions is commonplace. You can do that at Sewanee because your professors are teachers and mentors first and researchers second. We believe in educating the whole person through the liberal arts education. That's what happens when you engage with your professors. You get out into the field and you wrestle with the questions that the world hasn't figured out the answers to yet. It's in that process that you will enhance your studies, hone your skills, and increase your postgraduate prospects. In hoping that you'll engage that way, we've made a commitment to you, the Sewanee Pledge. And the commitment is simple. We pledge to provide funding for a summer internship or research opportunity during your time at Sewanee. We also pledge that you'll be able to make global connections by providing access to a semester-long study abroad program at no additional tuition cost. And finally, we pledge that you'll graduate in 4 consecutive years with at least one major. If you do not, you can study for an additional year at Sewanee and no additional tuition cost. At Sewanee, if you give your best in good faith, we will honor that dedication and effort. You won't even have to compete with graduate students for these opportunities, and in many cases, worry about the funding that make them possible. Sewanee believes in access as much as we do excellence, which is why we're committed to meeting 100% of demonstrated financial need for all admitted first-year students. We also recognize academic achievement, so in addition to need-based aid, we do offer academic scholarships as well. Our goal is to accept the most talented students for whom Sewanee is the best choice, and then to provide the financial aid package that makes it possible for you to enroll here. That's the Sewanee lens. We want to find strong fit students and guide you through the search and application process. Sewanee is a common application school and there's no fee to apply. We also know that test scores aren't always the best indicator of a student's academic success. And that's why at Sewanee we're test optional. That allows you to choose to submit the ACT, SAT, or no scores at all. So if you're ready to take this journey and opt into this experience, I hope you'll choose to apply to Sewanee. I can't wait to see how you'll make this place your home and bring your perspective to our community.
Thanks for your time tonight, and I look forward to any questions you all might have during our time together tonight.
All right. Well, hello, my name is Clayton Walker. I'm one of the admissions counselors at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. So we'll spend the next few minutes talking about Belmont. Again, my name is Clayton. There's my contact information, so you can reach out to me. I'm the Ohio admissions counselor, also Belmont graduate, and actually originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. So Belmont in a nutshell, Belmont is a medium-sized Christian liberal arts university. Medium size being about 6,600 undergraduate students. We've actually tripled enrollment since 2000, so we have grown a lot. But now we're at that sweet spot where we have the access to the resources of a larger university, but still maintain that small school feel with an average class size of 19 students and a 14:1 student to faculty ratio. We're also a teaching institution, so that means our faculty members are here to really support our students over anything else and work with you to find those internships and jobs after graduation. We also have students from all over the country. Approximately 67% of our undergraduate population comes from outside of Tennessee. So we're excited to see that grow each year. Ohio's typically in the top 10 states from where we get students from. So definitely you won't be alone coming from Ohio. We would be remiss not to talk about Nashville. We're so blessed to be in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, one of the fastest growing cities in America. There's so much stuff going on in Nashville. Belmont's about 2 miles south of the city center. So we are a very urban campus, but have a lot of green space for how urban we are. Nashville's music city, right? You've heard that before. We're also the healthcare capital of the country. So a lot of healthcare organizations are in Nashville, some big hospitals. We also have all these new businesses coming in Nashville and moving headquarters to Nashville. And then your fun fact for the day, we're also the third coast for fashion. So right behind New York and LA, a huge fashion scene here in Nashville. Talking quickly about spiritual life on campus, we are a Christian university. So that just means that our faculty and staff are all committed Christians, but we do welcome all students to campus. So it is a very welcoming environment, and we're really proud of how we've kind of put that together. But Belmont's purpose is really that we believe that God put every person on earth with a purpose, and our job as a university is to help find that purpose. And we take that to heart in everything we do. We do have over 100 majors across all the colleges you see on your screen. So our largest major or program is music business. That's because right across the street from Belmont is Music Row, which is really the music headquarters for the country and really the world. So a lot of exciting things going on there. But our second largest major is actually nursing, which kind of fits with that healthcare capital of the country that I mentioned earlier. So pretty dynamic student population because of that. Right behind that, we have some science majors and business all in the top 10 for our top 10 largest majors. So we are pretty dynamic in what students study at Belmont. And then I mentioned that fashion. So we recently added the Amore College of Architecture and Design and the Watkins College of Art, and even just announced we're opening up a medical school in the near future. Talking about the application process, we try to keep it pretty simple at Belmont. So first you need to just submit an application, either our Belmont application or using the Common App. We have a $50 application fee and then a couple supplemental items. So we just require an official high school transcript, and you can see that the weighted GPA of last year's class was a 3.83. We don't require any teacher recommendations, just a school counselor recommendation. And then we are test optional for this current year and the next year. So it's up to you if you want to submit test scores. And we are test optional for both admission and scholarship. So it can't hurt you to not submit a score. And it's also a non-binding decision. So if you send scores and decide you don't want us to look at them, we'll always throw them out, and vice versa. If you say you want to submit scores and for some reason decide not to, that's okay too. We can definitely update that. So we're working with you to do whatever's best for you and your test scores. And then scholarships, again, something we've worked really hard to keep the same. The application for admission is your application for all scholarships. So you'll be automatically considered for everything. Most students receive a general academic merit scholarship that ranges from $3,000 to $10,000. And that's just based on your application, and you'll get that about a week after your admissions decision. And then our top awards, you just need to apply by December 1st. So that's about all my time. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out and we'll definitely get you on campus.
Oh, howdy, everyone. Get this shared. Howdy, howdy. My name is Libby, and I am the regional advisor for Midwest students for Texas A&M University. Whoop. So FYI, we have a couple of campuses, right? College Station, main campus that you think of within Texas A&M. I'm joined tonight with somebody from our Galveston campus, and she'll be speaking to you next. So just a heads up, we're going to stay within the realm of Texas A&M College Station. So with that said, starting back, good old 1876, right? We were the first education institution to open within the state of Texas, right? Higher education. So since then, we've grown just a smidge. We are now the largest university in the country, sitting at, in total, just over 71,000 students within the system. College Station, just under 66,000 students. So to say large and in charge is an understatement, right? But yet you see this really large campus, this 5,200 acre campus in the heart of Texas, right? We're sandwiched in between the big three. If you're not familiar with your Texas geography, that's Dallas, Austin, and Houston. makes up that triangle, and we are smack dab in the center of it. So being in College Station, this college town, this large university, we still have the 20-to-1 student-teacher ratio, which is really nice whenever you think about the sheer size that you get. You also get that one-on-one time that you want with those professors. Kind of like we were speaking with other schools that are out here on our call today. We are part of the SEC. We're also a Research One institution, right? R1. So we're also the first in the state of Texas to hit 1 billion, B like boy, billion, in research expenditures for the year 2020, which is phenomenal, right? That basically means if you're interested in research, and not just at the graduate level, as an undergrad student, there's opportunities for you at Texas A&M. Speaking of academics, this is a list of our academic colleges that we have, but a good rule of reference, how A&M is set up. We're a very STEM-heavy university, with our College of Engineering being the largest, loudest, proudest out of all of our 10. It takes up about a third of A&M's campus. But some popular areas that we have that, you know, nationally are known, meteorology program is really big. We have one of only 2 vet medicine programs in the state of Texas. We were the original. Like I said, engineering's big. Business is a small or smaller business school, very competitive. So just keep a heads up there. Speaking to the admission process, right? What does that look like? We use the holistic review for our out-of-state students, meaning we look at you as a whole, right? You are a whole lot more than your ACT or SAT score. We knew that before COVID, right? So what got you out of bed this morning, right? What got you logged in to this Zoom? What academic achievements do you have? But also, what's that personal side of you, right? What extracurricular activities do you have? Or community service hours? We love folks that volunteer, right? Or maybe do you have a part-time job? Like, tell us a little more about yourself. These are all the areas that we look into whenever we're reviewing your application. From there, speaking of application requirements, first things first, dive in a little deeper, right? Our juniors that are going to be seniors relatively soon. You got a month and a little bit, right? So May is coming around the corner. First things first is the application for admission. We are on the Coalition website as well as Apply Texas. We are not part of Common App. I know that's very popular in the Midwest. Pick one of those 2 and only one, okay? From there, SAA is for everybody, no matter what major that you're deciding to study, right? If you're an engineering student, you will have an additional essay that you'll also submit to us, but everybody will continue to submit SAA, and that's where you get to tell us a little about your story, okay? From there, application fee, our fee waiver, right? For my domestic students, you live in the US, 75. International students, it is 90. Please talk with your guidance counselor whenever you're going through these processes, folks. You may qualify for a fee waiver. You don't know till you ask. So from there, we require something called the SRAR, Self-Reported Academic Record. Basically, this means that you're not sending us your high school transcripts. You're creating this self-reported record and sending it to us. And then once you're admitted and you graduate high school, then you send your high school transcripts to us. Okay, and last but not least, again, official ACT or SAT score, similar to most other universities in the US right now, we're test optional for our current year seniors and our current juniors, so class of 21 and 22. Admission process, our timeline real quick. Applications open August 1st and they close. It is a hard stop by December 1st. Okay, for more of this information and how to find us, maybe to be able to come and visit campus in person or our virtual events, right? Definitely check out our website, and I'm going to be posting more information in the little chat box, right? And be sure to ask your questions in the Q&A. Thanks so much, guys. Get 'em.
All right, our next presenter. Hey there, your screen isn't sharing anymore and we cannot hear you. So I think we're going to skip to the next presentation for now, and we'll get back to you in a moment. So next presentation is with Scott. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully we can get Vera back here shortly and you'll be able to hear from her as well. But my name's Scott Hurd. I'm from the University of Utah. I'm your admissions counselor in Ohio. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you and talk to you more about the University of Utah. Again, just grateful to be here with all of these great universities. There's so many different options when choosing a school to go to, and so many different factors. And so hopefully the information you're getting here tonight is beneficial to you in finding that right fit for yourself. So the University of Utah, we are located in Salt Lake City, Utah. If I can get my presentation to work with me here. Downtown Salt Lake City. So thinking about Utah, it's kind of the hub and the capital of the state. You've got the state capitol, just like 10 minutes bus ride from campus. You can also get down to downtown very easily and enjoy all the different things down there, whether that's going to a Utah Jazz game, getting some great food at all the different options downtown, or doing shopping. There's so many different things available, as well as like Fortune 500 companies. So if you're looking for internships, things like that, just like being in Salt Lake is going to get you all those different possibilities. But then I also like to think of us as like the Hannah Montana of universities. And that may date me because many of you may not know that Miley Cyrus had like a secret identity as Hannah Montana, so she could have the best of both worlds. And that's Salt Lake City to me. You've got downtown, but then you've also got the Wasatch Mountains, and the University of Utah sits right in the foothills of them. You can get to some great hiking just out the backside of campus housing. There's 6 world-class ski resorts within 45 minutes of campus. And just gonna say, like, skiing in the Wasatch Mountains is a lot better than any skiing you could do in Ohio. So keep that in mind. But with great skiing, that also means that there's great hiking, great climbing, and all sorts of different things to enjoy outside, especially just like being in Utah. We've got 5 national parks here close by that you can easily get to within a day. Of course, you want to get an education though. That's why you're going to college. All those other things are just addition. We have 18 colleges at the University of Utah with 150 majors, minors, and certificates to choose from. If you're searching around and you can't find what it is that you think you want to study, let me know. It may just be under a different name, and I can help you find what it is that you're looking for. But yeah, one of the biggest parts of college is getting involved. And that's going to make a huge difference for your education. The things that you're doing in the classroom are only going to be benefited by what you do outside. The University of Utah has over 600 clubs and organizations that you can get involved in. Some of those can be just for fun, like Human Battleship that you see here, where you're literally just trying to sink each other's canoes in the pool. Or it could be more academic focused. It could be a pre-med program, something that you're interested in pursuing as a career. That would be a club that you could join. You could also search for internships through the Hinckley Institute of Politics, whether that's to find local, state, or national government internship opportunities, or with all those Fortune 500 companies that I mentioned in the Valley. Whatever it is that you're looking for, like, they're a great one-stop shop for internships, and the perfect place to start if that's what you're looking for. Again, like, this is going to make the biggest difference in your educational experience, what you're getting involved in. And I encourage you, no matter where you're at, look for opportunities outside of the classroom to enhance your education. We do use a holistic review process, and we talked about that. Some of the other institutions use that as well. But just a quick recap, we're looking at more than your GPA. We are test optional currently, and for fall 2022, we're in a pilot program. So hopefully we can continue that, because it really is a benefit to students. When we look holistically, sure, we look at your GPA, but we're also looking at your course rigor. What courses have you taken to challenge yourself and really prepare for higher education? So biggest thing is challenge yourself, but then also be as thorough as possible on your application. Include that extracurricular activities, your work experience, your volunteer experience. Those type of things are going to add to your application. Really, the more information you give us, the more reasons we have to say yes. As mentioned already, college is an investment, and it's something that you're going to be looking at spending money on and looking for a return in. Coming from Ohio, you're going to be paying out-of-state tuition, which is close to $30,000 for a full year of school with room and board. Those costs can fluctuate depending on whether you choose like a double bedroom and whether you take like a smaller meal plan. That's all up to you and can change depending on your situation. But most importantly, I want to talk about how easy it is to gain residency for tuition purposes at Utah, so that you can start paying that in-state tuition rate by your second year. So 3 main things. You need to be in Utah for 12 continuous months. You have 29 days of flexibility that you can travel, visit family, enjoy your spring break. Hopefully those things return in the future. Starting from there, you can also need to prove financial independence. This doesn't mean that your parents can't help you. It simply means that they can't claim you as a dependent, and you may need to file your own taxes. And then third thing, establish ties to the state by getting a driver's license, registering to vote. If you have a car that you bring with you, you could register that. And doing those things, you could apply for reclassification with the university, so that by your second year, you're paying that in-state tuition rate and seeing a cost difference of about $20,000. So like I said, I am your counselor. I'm here to help. So copy down my information here. You can find me on admissions.utah.edu. Look for ways to schedule appointments. And really, I just would love to help with whatever questions you have. We'd love to have you come and visit campus. And with that being said, go Utah.
Thanks, Scott. All right, our last presentation from Texas Galveston is not going to be here. So Vera wasn't able to get back on and connect. So I'm going to ask all of our panelists to join back and turn their cameras on. Thank you all. And I am going to pose a couple of questions to y'all, and you can just round robin it again and answer as you like. And the question for y'all is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So we'll start off with University of Tennessee from the top.
I think the biggest thing that you can do to help yourself is to actually go visit the schools. I know it's not always feasible, but if you can, try to get on campus and see the schools in person, because it's something undefinable, but you know when you're in the right place. Like it just clicks. And so I think it's really important to get out there and go see the schools in person.
My advice would be to enjoy it. Think of it as a journey. Seek counsel from perhaps your parents about something that's really important. And I think you'll build a neat relationship with them as you're going through the college search process. But, you know, be open to places that are some things that are familiar to you and some places that might not be familiar. You might just find your right home, but most important, enjoy the journey.
I'd say be yourself. You know, there's so many colleges out there. So fit is really the name of the game, just finding the school that fits you. And you can't figure that out unless you're yourself in your application on your campus visit. But find the best fit.
I echo all of that. I agree. I would also add, don't apply to 40 different universities. It's not worth it, folks. Everybody's shaking their head because those are fees that you're paying each time, or you're going and talking to your guidance counselor to have another form filled out. Either way, it's a lot of late nights, guys, and that's not really finding your fit. So do the research now. That way you can whittle down your list.
Yeah, just echoing all this great advice. Finding a college, I think, is just like buying a pair of pants. Like, you want to try them on and make sure they fit before you make that purchase. And then secondly, like, don't be afraid to reach out to us. Like, I don't know any of these people, but I already am just like, oh my goodness, they're so nice. Like, I'm going to send them an email. But we are here to help as admissions counselors. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out, and we can get you like extra information, connect you with whoever it is that you're looking to understand more about a program or whatever it is. Like, we're here to help, and please take advantage of that.
Excellent. All right. And a question for everyone again, and we'll start with Will. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
I mentioned it in my quick spiel, but the fact that you can tailgate on the river is really cool. And that is an absolute bucket list for me, to get on one of those boats before one of our home football games and just kind of taking the atmosphere. And just like, it's iconic. It's something that's very unique to the university. And it's like the whole reason why I want to buy a boat is just for that reason. I'll sell it after that. On Sunday it's sold, but on Saturday I'm floating.
I would say a tradition at Sewanee is something we call the Order of the Gown, and it speaks to academic excellence. So after the first year, all students are eligible to be presented to the campus community with an academic gown. You might be thinking Hogwarts, but students have those gowns and they wear them to class. Our tour guides wear them. They might wear them for a special presentation. They tend to embellish them with things that are important to them. You know, a pin that represents a club they're in. Some of them are handed down from family members or friends that they know, but quite a moment for a student to be presented with their gown. And each semester there's an opportunity to earn your gown. And so our hope is that by commencement, all of the students have their academic gowns. So you aren't rushing at the last minute to prepare for commencement, because you already have your academic gown and you've been wearing it and it's comfortable for you.
Yeah, we have Blizzard on the Boulevard, so near Christmas with some basketball games. It's just a great opportunity for faculty, staff, students, the community to come together and have Christmas carols and tree lighting, and then celebrate with a basketball game. And you know, we don't get a ton of snow in Tennessee, so snow machines. But yeah, it's just a good time to come together before finals.
So while I'm personally not as much of a fan of football as Will is, right? We're still part of the SEC. I see you. What I am a part of, right? I'm a dog person, if you can't tell from my coworker in the back. But A&M Aggies, we're dog people. This is Miss Rev, and this is a replica of the real Miss Rev, who's a living, breathing mascot on campus. And she lives, she works, she plays on campus. She goes to class with y'all. If she barks in class, the teacher is supposed to dismiss for the day, because you're supposed to hold Miss Rev's attention, right? So she is a modern celebrity on campus. Big dog people.
Yeah, for me at the University of Utah, it's Crimson Nights, which is like one of our largest events. It takes place every semester when things are normal. But yeah, concerts, activities, all sorts of things, student union, spreads out onto the quads, like just a great time and something you can look forward to every semester.
Great. And last question before we start wrapping up today. Give an interesting or fun fact about your school. Will, kick us off.
Oh man, I think one of the things that impressed me the most, and something else I touch on very quickly, is just the fact that the University of Tennessee is actually, I'm going to scratch that, our shade of orange, that everybody is like, what is that? I cannot recreate it. It is not naturally occurring in the world. It is based on wildflowers that used to grow in the end zone, or just next to the football field when we first were founded. So that is why this orange is so unique to the University of Tennessee.
I've learned something new tonight. I didn't know where that came from. You know, and Sewanee is a founding member of the SEC. I just don't know if you all knew that fun fact. But what I do want to share with you that is interesting is that our president also has the title of vice chancellor. And perhaps more importantly, he's also the mayor of the town of Sewanee. So he governs over the university as well as the community that we all live in.
So we're also a Division I school in the Ohio Valley Conference. So our women in the March Madness tournament made it to the second round. And so we were the first OVC team to make it to the second round of an NCAA tournament in 30 years.
I feel like the minute you're like, "Ooh, what's something fun?" you blank, right? Fun fact, our visualization program on campus out of our College of Architecture is small but mighty, very sought after, and reasons why, right? We have so many connections in Hollywood, if you will, but also within Pixar and within Disney. We have last year's grad. She actually helped create all the trees for the movie Soul that just came out on Pixar. Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact, it's another one of those fun traditions at our football games, the MUS, or the Mighty Utah Student Section. The third down jump is a tradition trying to create as much chaos for like the opposing team. It actually registers as seismic activity at the campus Richter scale.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us here today. Thank you for joining us for this virtual college fair. After you close this window, a very quick 4-question survey will appear. This recording will also be available at strivescan.com/Ohio. Thank you to all of our panelists. Great job. You all have a great evening. Thank you so much and take care.